don't think I need this.
No problem.
Thanks. So Buddha asked me what I wanted to do for the theme. I said found poetry. I don't have any found poetry. But what I have is what I was putting together a collection of lost and found, which are a set of character pieces of people who are lost and through the writing hopefully in some way are found. So we'll begin. Gasoline in small doses. Part of him still wants a change counter, the kind to clip on the belt of a fat man in a yellow white shirt who smiled at your dad, fetched him a couple packs of smokes before anyone was ashamed of him. He wouldn't use it, no damn use for it at all. It would just sit in a goddamn drawer until he found it, years later while cleaning out a file cabinet or a nightstand, and he'd turn it over for a moment, his hands remembering the smell of gasoline and aftershave, and wondering why the first time a match touched his father's cigarette, it smelled so sweet, while every other pull on that goddamn cancer stick smelled the way gray tastes. And he knew, holding that change counter, that he should just take the quarters out of the damn thing and throw it away. But he wouldn't really even think too hard about it. It would go right back in that damn drawer where it would sit for years, forgotten. It would move with him from home to house, probably in a box labeled junk drawer that his kids would find maybe 30 or 40 or 50 years later. Chuckle at how Dad liked stuff like this. And they wouldn't know the smell of gasoline and aftershave, and the way those cigarettes smelled sweet and gray. And maybe they would even forget to take out the quarters before chucking it into a box. Part of him knows all this is true and wants one anyway. I've written, people have heard me before, I've written a lot of poems about physics and what have you, even when I write characters, I can't get away from it. So this one's called Waves and Particles. It refers to the way that light behaves sometimes as a wave and sometimes as a particle. He hates sand, resents their untold numbers, exhausted boulders grinding pornographically, inexorably reduced, a passive substrate for seagull shit pollard reproductions, scoured and unclean. A walk each morning at dawn, he loathes the sunrise. Presumptuous rays stalk the horizon, obliterate the embrace of nighttime anonymities. One morning he found a glass ball, green, spectacularly delicate, a fragile maritime impossibility lying in the sand. It popped when he crushed it underfoot. He was 12 when he first realized he could remove his face, set it calmly aside, reattach it at will. Shocked he hadn't noticed it earlier, hadn't felt the small, sturdy latches just behind his ears. Hands trembled, fumbled the first latch, pressed it forward, met its spring-loaded resistance, paused, overcame the tension, released into ecstasy that joy of perfect anonymity. For years he would only remove his face when he was alone in the bathroom, holding that limp flesh in his hands, slack, unresponsive, detached. Part of him? No. Much more malleable off the skull than on, released from the tension of adhering to phrenological cartography. He was 20 when he learned he could make more of them, read Eliot in an English class, fell in love, began his life's work, prepared faces to meet other faces, sometimes bravely, sometimes faces that looked only at the sun, burned out their retinas, saw only fireworks, faces that always wept, that smiled, that listened attentively, that offered sage advice. Warehoused, carefully labeled, each honest if not always true, they piled like snowdrifts, filled closets, used them as blankets, covered his feet in the small hours, began to fear opening the door. They started to spill out. No room left under the rug, their weight cumulative, inevitable. The barest whisper inaudible among the faces, each soundlessly asking